Hello everybody, welcome to today's video in which I, Andrew from CAE Exam Tips, am going to try to do a reading and use of English Part 7 task. Part 7 is the gapped text. It's a long text with 6 paragraphs taken out. And to make it more fun to do, Cambridge have given us 7 paragraphs to choose from. Okay, so my plan is, as you can see on the screen, I have a Part 7 task ready to go. Now I've kind of scanned the text a little bit because I had to cut it up into little pieces to make this video, but I haven't read it properly. So I'm going to read it properly live on TV, and then I'm going to try to put the words into the right place, just the same as you would do it in the exam. And I will try to talk about what I'm doing and what I'm thinking, and maybe you will learn some tips from that. Okay, so the first thing is I'm going to look at the title. The title says Scottish Wildcat. Okay, so the article is about cats in Scotland, or maybe it's called the Scottish Wildcat, but it lives in Mexico or Japan. I've no idea, but I imagine it lives in Scotland. So let's read it. You can read along with me. I probably will read faster than you, in which case you have to pause the video and make sure that you catch up with me. Okay, let's do it. So you're going to read an extract from a magazine article. I'm reading the whole base text and not the paragraphs. I'll read the paragraphs later. Okay, and on this side I have paragraphs. Okay, so I've read all of the text, all of the paragraphs, and now I'm ready to start looking to see where I can put the paragraphs. What I do is try to find the easiest one to start with. It sounds obvious, but a lot of students will just start at number 41 and then try to do 42 and then try to do 43. But for me, the way to do it is to think, what's the easiest one? Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm looking for links before the gap and after the gap. I'm looking for links I'm looking for like a chain that I can hang my paragraph onto. And actually the first one, I think I found one. This word painting. And it describes the painting of the snarling, spitting animal. And over here, G, it is a typical image most folk have of the beast, but it's very much a false one. The wildcat is little more than a bigger version of the domestic cat. However, the physical differences are tangible. So we have the image and the painting, that's the link. And then we have the comparison with the wildcat and the domestic cat. And the whole next paragraph, I'm going to put that in. Okay. The whole next paragraph is about the differences between the domestic tabby cat and the wildcat. I think that's a pretty good link. I'm quite confident about that. Just double checking. Yeah, that's all good. I'm going to delete that from that list. Okay, what else caught my eye? I think this one was the next one I wanted to look at. It was during the 19th century. Okay, I like it when they have the time phrases. So here we have the 19th century, and here after the gap we have the future is by no means secure. So now in the paragraph I'm looking for something that has a lot of time language. Time. Oh, what's this? The recruitment of men to the armed forces during the conflict in Europe from 1914 to 1918. Yeah, let's put that over there, see what it looks like. So don't do that. It was during the 19th century. Okay, and we have this information about how many wildcats were killed. And then in the middle of this text, we have, in the middle of the paragraph, we have a number of, as the number of gamekeepers decreased, the wildcat began to increase its range, recolonizing. Extinction was narrowly averted. The future is by no means secure, though. This though links to extinction was narrowly averted. So that's extinction was narrowly averted is positive. The future is by no means secure is negative, and those are linked by the contrast word though. So we have the contrast word here. We have all the time language. So it goes 19th century, 1914, and then the future. That's a really good flow. That's a strong yes. I'm happy with that. Okay, so now we've got 5 left. I'm not saying it's easy, but maybe that starts to make things easier. Now I'm looking for the next one that I thought might be an easy gap. Something about the lifestyle. Not sure about that. Let's go to the missing one here. So the Scottish wildcat was originally distinguished as a separate subspecies. Little difference between the Scottish and other European populations. Okay. According to an excellent report on the wildcat. Now, I remember there was something about, here, this one, results. The results which are expected shortly will be fascinating. That could be the results of the report. Oh no, that was printed in 1991. No, that's not right. This report was already published, and the results of a future report or a report that they're doing at the moment. So it's not C. What else can it be? That's a description of what the wildcat does. That's nothing to do with this report. Okay, here we have the word habitats. According to this report, they had a lot of habitats. What about this? Let's put that over there. So they, the animals, the wildcats, probably use deciduous and coniferous woodland for shelter. So that's talking about the habitat. Okay, so that seems promising. Yeah, and then we have the wildcat was probably driven into more mountainous areas by a combination of deforestation and persecution. And then this next bit, it's about the persecution of the animal because they were a nuisance and the landowners began to kill them. Okay, ding ding ding. That's a winner, right? So we've done 41, we've done 42, we've done 43. What about this 44? This is cause for real concern given that the animals in these areas have less contact with domestic cats and are therefore purer. And then we have part of the problem. What problem? What's the problem? This is not a problem. B, there's nothing a problem there. C, unique and distinctive. That's not a problem. E, as the animal later hunting. No, it can't be. It must be this one. Let's put that there. What does that say? So this is what makes many people think that the wildcat is a species in its own right. Maybe because it doesn't have this contact with domestic cats, it's purer than the general cat population, therefore it is a species. Okay, well, that makes sense, actually. Yeah, that makes sense. But what about, could I find a connection between this and this? Sometimes you don't have a strong connection both sides of the paragraph. Sometimes you only get a very strong connection on one side, but you can still find just like a logical flow of the argument. That's why you have to read the whole text at the beginning. Let's just double check this. So part of the problem, what is the problem? The problem, I think, is classifying if the wildcat is a species or not. Is it distinct from its the house cats? If it's distinct from its house cats or not, that's the problem. Yeah. Yep, that's it. Okay, so what did I use to solve that one? I looked for a problem. Okay, so just two more. Well, now I think I'm a little bit more confident about the last two because I've only got three to choose from. So the current research aims to resolve this potential problem. That's the problem we just talked about. Is it a species on its own or not? It is attempting to find out. This research now. The current research. That's this one. Being undertaken by Scottish National Heritage. So some scientists are working on that. That's connected back here. Physical features which characterize the so-called wild living cats. Could be C. The results which are expected shortly will be fascinating. Does that go? It does actually. Let's put that in there. The current research aims to resolve this potential problem. It's attempting to find out whether there are any physical features. Now, B is talking a little bit about its physical characteristics, so yeah, it's a little bit tempting. The results which are expected shortly will be fascinating. Now, that's the result of the research that is being carried out. I'm 100% sure about that. I'm less sure about this thing. What of his lifestyle? Well, here we have the wildcat. Anyone who has seen a wildcat will be in little doubt. whatever his background. So now the text is calling the wildcat a he by saying his background. And then what of his lifestyle? Okay, done. Now another favorite location is in the roots of a tree. So B gives us a kind of a description of the hunting process, I think. And E, as the animals emerge from where? Later they will accompany their mother on hunting trips and soon become adept hunters themselves. I think we have to use E here. Let's double check. Wildcat kittens are usually born in a secluded den, secreted in a gap, roots of a tree, as the animals emerge from the tree, from the gap. Yeah, these are the kittens, they've been born, and later, when they are not kittens, as they grow up, they will accompany their mother on hunting trips. And here we have rabbits are a favorite prey, and hunter and prey are words that go together. The hunter hunts the prey. So B is the one left over, and those were the answers. G, D, A, F, C, E. I don't know how long that took, but you can see that there's a process you can follow. Start with the easiest ones. Look for strong links like pronouns, time phrases, things like that. There's more tips on caeexamtips.com. And if you like this video and it was helpful to you, let me know and I'll make more. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.